Hey there! Today I want to talk to you about cortisol. Cortisol, what? You can't afford not to know this because understanding about cortisol is the key to your health, to having a smooth menopause, to having resilience to dealing with life's knocks and setbacks. And it's about the key to having that boundless energy and vitality that I'm always talking about. So you've got to know your cortisol. And what I'm about to share with you might shock you because today I'm sharing you some secrets about how hormones actually work and how your body responds to stress. And the first time I learned this, it literally turned my understanding upside down. It really shocked me. Um, so, this is what we're going to talk about today. So, I'm Dr. Marguerite. I'm a former NHS GP turned functional medicine specialist. I help ambitious midlife women have boundless energy so she can build the life of her dreams, live the business of a dream, have the career of her dreams, and really just feel like her most authentic self and fulfill on her potential. That's what we're all about. So, I'm going to teach you something incredibly important today, a new way to understand how stress actually works in your body. And this knowledge could offer you a unique way to finally get this right and to thrive. If you don't know this, you're going to always be struggling. You're always going to be pushing water uphill. But once you know this, it becomes a piece of cake. I don't want you to struggle like so many midlife women I see, because so many of us are stuck in exhaustion, in overwhelm, and other stress related issues. That low mood and just that, feeling like you're pushing your way through every day and energy that isn't quite, there. And you don't want that. Once you understand this thing about cortisol, everything will change for you, I believe, I promise you. So, the role of cortisol in your body, let's just do a little bit of understanding about that first, because this is crucial. So, just zooming out a little bit more, hormones and neurotransmitters act as the messengers that keep all the parts of your body from functioning smoothly. They're your communication network. Imagine like a modern world without the internet and without mobile phones. Like it would, well, I don't know, it might be quite peaceful. but but the point is, you can see it's our communication network. It's how everything relates to everything else. Same in your body, your hormones and your neurotransmitters. And when these stop working properly, when they go out of balance, your body becomes chaotic and everything becomes a bit, starts to do its own thing and doesn't really communicate very well with each other anymore, and everything starts to fall apart. Now, out of all of your hormones, and there are lots of them, cortisol is what I like to call it's often called the master hormone, but I like to think of it as the queen hormone. Yeah, the queen of hormones. It is way more important than our estrogen and progesterone. And these are two hormones that, if you're perimenopausal, menopausal, we think about that a lot, right? Shall I take HRT? Shall I take extra estrogen? Shall I take extra progesterone? This is, you know, front and central for us. It's nothing like as important as your cortisol. The cortisol's the queen. Same with your thyroid. It's another one. So many of us struggle with low thyroid issues. You might even be on levothyroxine, which you're going to have to take for the rest of your life. Once you understand about cortisol, all of that will change. So, cortisol, the bottom line with cortisol is that it keeps you alive. It is the survival hormone. That's how important it is. Okay. And it's produced by your adrenal glands. These are two tiny walnut-sized glands that sit parked on top of your adrenals. So kind of, on the right and left side of each of your kidneys, at the bottom of your ribs on your back. That'll be pretty much where they are. So let's talk about cortisol and your stress response. Now, without cortisol, if any stress comes along, you would find, you have no get up and go. You struggle to function every day. You have zero stress resilience. So, a little curveball happens, or there's an extra little project you'd have to do, and it's like your world's ending. Your mood is really low. Mood often plummets when there's not enough cortisol kicking around, and your immunity nosedives. Okay, I can, from personal experience, I know that one all too well, because how I ended up with my adrenals crashing was I had an infection. It was a cold, that then became a chest infection that wouldn't respond to antibiotics, and it became double pneumonia, and it was awful. And that and so many of people, if you are somebody who's got a diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome, you think back to when it first started. Often it started, the final straw was some kind of little infection, that seemed innocuous at the time, and it was like the last thing, and then suddenly down you went. If you can relate to that, tell me that in the chat box, because that's what happened to me. And I had never really connected the dots between my immune functionality and my adrenals and my stress stuff. I knew, okay, if we get stressed out, then we're not as, we can't fight things off as, I knew that, but I hadn't realised the enormity of it and the impact of it, actually, because I was, we tend to focus on, our attention on, like, how can I have better immune, what supplements do I need to take to boost my immune system? Well, how about supporting your cortisol, and then your immune system behaves a whole boatload better anyway. So I know I shared earlier, sorry, just a slight ramble here, I shared earlier in the week that I had a cold this week, and I was unwell for 3 days. It was a 72-hour wonder, and you can tell my voice still isn't quite 100%, but actually I am so pleased to say, if this was me 10 years ago, I would have been in bed for the next weeks, plural. Now 72 hours, boom, I'm fine, I'm better. And actually I managed to get loads of work done, because my brain was fine, it's just my body was sort of like doing its thing a bit. So there you go. Good solid immune system needs healthy cortisol. But I'm going off piste. But here's the thing I really want to get to you. The real surprise is this: your body can't tell the difference between good stress and bad stress. But even more than that, your body can't tell the difference between real stress and imagined stress. Now, if this is the first time hearing this, that might take a minute to sink in. But that's why sometimes, even when something really great happens, we can sometimes crash afterwards. Or, when your body's... so imagine in our 21st century environment, where we've got, toxic foods, we've got water that needs filtering, even if it comes out the tap, and we've got really good tap water regulations in this country. Our air quality, all these things that are loaded up, the chronic infections we have, we've just come out of the whole COVID thing, but so many people still have health struggles because of effectively what's chronic infections. Demanding lifestyles, just intensity, not having enough rest, not having enough nutritional status. We are so often sort of, overworked and undernourished. And all of that leads to that whole cortisol thing that I was saying, exhaustion and mood issues and immune problems and so on. So understanding that cortisol is your queen hormone, it's like, okay, so that's what I need to focus on. Cool. So to wrap it up, cortisol is the most important thing in your body. It is your survival hormone. And if you don't manage it properly, we risk running ourselves into the ground. But once you understand this role of cortisol and you think, you can regain your control over your energy and vitality. And that's really the kind of the golden ticket that I want to give you here, is that we're going to be talking about this and more on the upcoming Revitalize Live event. It is free to attend. We're going to be working together for 3 lovely days, and we're going to start Monday the 30th of September, and we're going to be there Monday, the Tuesday and that Wednesday. For an hour each evening we're going to be live, and then in between that we're going to be talking to each other in the Facebook group and working together on the pieces that we're going to be workshopping together. So it is your golden ticket. It's free. All you have to do is register, but it is totally free. This is your golden ticket to come and look at what's happening with your cortisol. Come and find out, equip yourself, get yourself a better understanding so that you can put yourself back in the driving seat of your life instead of kind of just leaving it to chance. And I can tell you now, with 21st century living the way it is, leaving it to chance, wouldn't recommend it. Now, this is especially for you if you're an ambitious midlife woman who really wants to have boundless energy. So wherever you are right now, whether you've got health struggles and you just want to kind of go, okay, I need some answers. If you're kind of, look, I'm kind of okay, but not great, not vital, not super health, super vitality. It's all right, but not too bad. You definitely want to be there. If you're somebody right now who's going, look, hey, I'm okay, but I really want to up my game in life, you need this level of resilience. So get yourself one of those seats. Now, the spots are limited, so and we already have several hundred people signed up. So I recommend that as soon as you've finished listening to this, go into the link in the comments below. Comments below. I'm pointing down. Yes. Well done, Marguerite. And we get your name on one of those free seats for Revitalize Live. And we're going to, it's going to be amazing. Everything you need will be included. So there will be a community group where we can chat in between time. There will be a workbook. There will be access to the replays. There will be the live teachings every day, Monday at 7 p.m, Tuesday at 7 p.m, Wednesday at 7 p.m, and all of it. So it is going to be amazing. This is a really golden opportunity, and I strongly recommend that you take part, and let's do this together. All right, take care.